What's up, YouTube? It's me, the artisan MC, running away from the job. If you can help me with the algorithm by hitting the like button, I would appreciate it. And if you can hear me, definitely hit 1 in the chat so I know if I need to put the top up or not. I'm not driving too fast, but it can be windy. I already lost one other person. So this is what it is. Aquatechie no. What good? What's up, Techie? What up, Ray? Peace to you. Kool-Aid. So now we got sound, we got speed. Now we're hitting into the area that the signal will get spotty. So we got a green light, so I should get through it pretty quickly. So what's good with you guys today? It's Friday. It's 5 o'clock here. So I mean, it got to be almost 8 o'clock on the East Coast. So hopefully you guys are done with the week. I'm about to get it in for relaxing. What's good, AB? I am not at home, so I don't have your beam in sound effect, AB. I got to put it on the, I got to make that GIF and put it on here so I can get them folks beaming in. So I have a joke I wanted to tell you guys outside of some other little interesting things I saw in the news today. And I just want to get out of the bad area before I get into it, because it starts breaking up, then you're not going to hear some of it. And that's kind of irritating to hear. Oh, fucking hell. Kind of fucking irritating to hear when shit like that happens, like police rolling up on you while you're just breathing. So you're going to decide if you're going to roll me over or not. I'm out here in Fairfield, so these police out here kind of be on that bullshit. So let's see. Because I think he swung around. We'll see. You know how it goes. Hopefully not. I just want to go home and rest. I spent my time dedicating good hours to the most mundane thing I could have done, which was stupid as hell. And it took longer than it should have. And because of that, it got my body hurt. I don't like my body hurting from doing simple stuff. I came out of work today feeling like Fast Eddie Felson after they figured out he was a pool shark and broke his thumbs. My thumbs hurt like that. And I've worked with my hands a long time, never had that kind of pain. Not like that, that's irritating. Irritating shit. But it is what it is. So I thought of this dirty joke, and I should be past the bad spot so I can tell it to you guys now. I thought of this dirty joke, right? And I probably ruined it by telling you guys it's dirty. But here's the joke. What do you say to a handsome, strapping dude with a wife that's 9 months pregnant drinking pineapple juice? What do you say to him? Oh, Aquatechie, I know I'm getting older. In some ways better, in some ways worse. closer to the freeway now. So, did y'all hear it? You heard the joke? What do you say to a handsome, strapping man with a wife that's 9 months pregnant, pounding orange juice? I mean, not orange juice, pounding pineapple juice. What do you say to him? Ask him where his wife got the pineapple juice. Aqua Techie? No, that's not it. See, this is what I do during the day to occupy my mind. I think of stuff. I think about all kinds of shit, right? No matter what it is I'm doing, I'm still thinking about 15 other things, right? One of the things I think of is jokes, just based on the situation that I'm in. Now, I can tell you this joke is made up of real people, right? And how I process the information that I picked up, right? And crafted it into a dirty joke. It's the skill I developed in Catholic school. I turn everything dirty. Everything can be turned dirty. I did. That's not a joke. I did develop this talent in Catholic school. In a library. Basically, what you tell them is one of two things. I haven't figured out which way works the best for this joke. Tell him he has a really smart wife, or he has a really good wife. One way. Now, if you understand the joke, you'll probably laugh at it. If you don't, get some life experience. I don't know what to tell you. Get some life experience. Could add something else to it to make it more of a clue in to what is going on, but nobody got this shit? What? Did I get booted off of YouTube for making a joke? Jesus. I'm dead as fucking here. It's supposed to be like 8 o'clock on your time. Bucks your wife? No, not who bucks your wife. It's his wife. Let's skip the dysfunction, okay? Let's skip the dysfunction. It's his wife, is his baby, okay? I know in our mind we automatically go to black folks. Like, who kid is that? Is that your kid? You sure? Mama's baby, daddy's maybe? Come on, man. You bored again on the punchline? Okay. The punchline is one of two ways. I haven't decided which one I like better. You tell him you have a really good wife, or you tell him you have a really smart wife. I think saying that he has a good wife is the better punchline to know. Because basically, the punchline is what you understand it means for a man to drink pineapple juice. And being that his wife is 9 months pregnant, and he's a handsome guy, she figured out a way to keep his ass at home and out there, you know, fucking on a Nanny Rotten Crotch. Nanny Rotten Crotch. Sitting there with the spring-loaded vagina, waiting for a dude hard up for 9 months. So I haven't figured out which one it is. She's either smart or she's good. But punchline is, it's not said, it's what you understand. The other one that Black Bane thought of was to tell him that his wife is a whole serial killer. You can ask, what do you say to a man like that? You ask him, how does it feel to be married to a serial killer? one would actually be funnier. That would actually be funnier. That would actually be funnier because it makes people think that much further, and it hits on two levels. The first level is figuring out why would you say that, figuring out all the elements. And then the other one goes into, if you already understand the elements, it throws you to swerve to think of something else, having a comment on what she's doing. Aquatech, you said it finally clicked like a splash, huh? Hey, it's sweeter when it clicks. Oh, shit. This is why I don't do shows for kids. I'm a firm believer. You ruin your kids the way you want them. This joke, I would tell my daughter. I would. But she's my daughter, so she won't be surprised or shocked or tortured or none of that shit. And she's an adult, so she'd get it. And she'll just shake her head like that. She just like, I don't want to think about that. So, yeah, my kids are fine. Well-adjusted and humorous. But point being, I was in somebody's house and that's what I thought. Doing work. They're a nice couple. Yes, they are black. Yeah, dad jokes. Exactly, that's what my daughter would look at it as. Dad jokes. You only say dad jokes because I'm your father. Right? No, it's just dirty jokes. I like clever jokes mostly. Clever raunch is more fun. It makes you think. And it's based on your experience. You get the joke based on your experience, and that's what's funnier. Because for me, funny is the people's reaction, not necessarily the joke. Jokes can be funny, but the reaction is what I like. Like, see, especially when people get like, oh, I get it. Like, second joke. Totally situational comedy, right? I need this part. We don't have it in the warehouse. One of my co-workers looks in his van to see if he has one, and I go back and look at my van to see maybe I still have one. I usually have a really good account of things. I just know it off the top of my head, but I just gave it a second go to say maybe I forgot something. Maybe I forgot it. Fuck, let's just check. Let's just double check. I know it's not there, but let me just double check. And let's see if that stops working. I open the back of my van. I lean over into my van because I'm looking on the bottom shelf, so I'm laying on partly in the van with my legs hanging out and my stomach on the bottom of on the floor. And I'm looking underneath the bottom shelf to see. I usually stuff the part in there. And then I hear a voice from behind me. And it's my coworker saying, "Tell me you love me." And I told him, "Not while I'm bent over, I'm not." No fucking way. So I stood up and faced him and said, "Thank you. I appreciate you. I don't fucking love you. That's your wife's job." Because he did have the part I needed. But that was a situational joke, right? Just a situation. As quick as he said it, it was as quickly as I gave him the response, right? That's a sign of intelligence. It is. How quickly you can come with a response is a sign of intelligence. It goes to how fast your brain works, how fast associations and stuff like that are made. Now, he kind of laughed because he's a young dude. He's like 24, right? He's a young dude. He laughed a little bit, right? How does the joke go on? I go into the warehouse where it's a couple of us in there. It's like 4 or 5 other people in there. And I tell them the joke. I tell them the situation, what happened. It fucking fell out. They fell out. They couldn't believe that shit. Like, what? That's what it's like to be me. Saying shit people don't even think, like, what? What's wrong with you? And I tell them a lot of things, mostly undiagnosed. Damn it. What up, Nameless? Woos. Sorry, Kage. Kage. Oh, said it wrong. To the chat and the Kage on the panel. Woos, yes. That is my moniker. Sorry, Kage. If I got to put it up here, I will for my branding. I got my Scorpio branding for November. But let's see. Yeah. Get that up there. There you go, Nameless. Stops delaying. It just works. I hate it when things delay. There you go. That's my Sasori Kage icon. If you watch it, it's animated. So it's a gift. The color keeps changing. Sasori is a very interesting name. And the idea behind it, it seems to be happening amongst folk all through space. Oh shit. Okay, that's fire, literally. Yeah, it is fire, literally. It is. The Rashikage symbol with a picture I took in a comic shop with the blade sword that I own. And then that was the animated part was, I believe it was an eclipse, a fiery ring. I used it on some other stuff too. And Nameless, you can tell me if I got it wrong or not, but as far as I know, tell the folks that don't know, as far as I know, Sasori means scorpion, right? Scorpion. So, yeah, I'm a scorpion. Fuck out my face. Goofball. 49ers fan, too, in a minivan. Charlie Frosty fans. What do I have to say to you guys besides two fucking dirty jokes? The hidden village in the manosphere is growing. Yes, it is. Nameless. The black manosphere is basically like a hidden village. Because think about it like this, just to use your whole, how you do your videos. You actually put out word copies, right? And go over sword forms. This debating style of actually having facts and not emotions and checking every brother on every panel about this shit and having good information and going back and doing your research and reading some of these books and learning this stuff, that is basically like teaching a martial art. You are teaching a martial art. The way you know it, like with any martial art, is when it spreads, right? When you get, if you start with one student, that one student ends up turned into two students, turns into to four, turns into six, you know, it keeps multiplying, right? It spreads. Those students go away, they move somewhere else, they start teaching the form that you taught them, right? Okay. When you hear the news, social media, celebrities and stuff like that, spitting stuff out of their mouth that is red pill talking points developed in the black manosphere, what is that? But them learning a new skill, a new form. They just did. They just learned it. How to look at the landscape and see what it is. And the village keeps growing because people keep showing up to the village and like, teach me. Teach me. Right? It's like that scene in Kung Fu Hustle. Shout out to Stephen Chow or Stephen Chow, right? At the end, when his character, Stephen Child's character, fights the beast, and he uses a gentle fist, right? And finally beats him. Doesn't beat him with just with his hands beating him down. He beats him with a little bit of gentleness, right? He takes the poison dart that he was going to stab him with and turns it into like a little propeller and spins the shit and lets it fly. And he's kind of amazed by that. He says, how did you do that? And he looks at him, and when he looks at him, it looks just like that image that I put, the thumbnail I used on this stream. And the dude says to him, faceless, just a shadow, says, I can teach you. And the beast breaks down and goes to one knee and calls him master because he wants to learn. It's the same thing over here in the Black Manosphere, right? People come over here all the time with their bullshit. And every 6 months to a year, we get a new crop of people in here like it's fucking high school, and we have to redo all this old knowledge. And basically what it is retraining them from this bullshit style that they had out there in the world. They come into this dojo of the Black Manosphere, and they start doing that feminine limp fist fighting, and we like, no, that's not it. That's not it. Get that shit out of here. No, your skill is lacking. Until they finally get to the point they start shutting up and listening to the people who have been in this space long. And then they start learning. Then they start taking notes. And like, yeah, y'all right. But what happened is you had to make them submit first to get the actual knowledge, because they came in here with a bunch of boasting and bluster of what they thought the world was, and then they come in here, we rip the blindfold off them and let them know you never even were looking at the world, dummy. You never saw the world. You have blinders on. This is the world. And once they see it, I don't even know what all this means. And what do? Every one of these content creators in the Black Manosphere who has a following, what do? You look at them with the light behind you and said, I can teach you. Same thing. Yeah, the bent wrist jutsu, exactly. The limpy fist. Limpy rainbow fist. Yeah, the bent wrist jutsu is right. That shit don't work. Fuck you do that. What they do that at, cuz? Yeah, the bent wrist jutsu does not work here. And what happens is, just like any martial art, you start learning the history more than you start learning how to punch somebody in the face with what you know. You need to learn first. You need to re-educate yourself and get up to speed on the knowledge in the history before you think you just start going out there and beating people over the head with talking points. No fucking way. Fucking, you gotta level up first. Better get here and get your white belt, get your gi on, and shut up. Keep your feet off the mat. That's usually what it is. And if you want to take the martial arts analogy to the Black Manosphere further, because this is fun for me, think of every content creator as a different style. It is a different style. It is. I'm just saying mine's the Sorikage. I'm just saying. Why is it not? 64 bent wrist deflections, yes. Yes. The 64 bent wrist chambers. Deflections. I bet that's the real thing in some remote province in China. I hope the hell not. Probably 3 people there calling themselves a fucking commune. Smelling like Julie. Wrist style. Not to be confused with the Luby fist. Not to be confused with the drunken style. No. They go see one. Man, they swear they. Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing, BMT. That's usually what happens, right? Why is there so much beef in the black manosphere, right? Because motherfuckers always want to prove themselves. And if your channel is popping and growing, they want to prove themselves off of you. Why does BGS at 60-something years old still get people running up wanting to information that he halfway forgot by now? It's 30 years old. I get the same shit with comic book stuff. That's why I have to tell dudes, look, geeks don't, look, we'll argue about some shit, but this ain't what this is, dude. There ain't no pulling, there ain't no dick measuring contest in geekdom. It's fucking geekdom. That's not a dick measuring thing. It's not. It's just levels. It may your geekdom is on years old. Mine is, that's it. I bet money before the end of this year, BGS will have to check somebody else because he just had to check the conscious community last week. Just last week. Still. Like, come on, man. Come on. When I have some goofball in my comment section saying something, you know what asked about it? BGS, you know what he tell me? Just block him. I was like, man, no, I don't know. I kind of want to answer this shit because me, I have a teacher's mentality. I want you to get it. I feel a little bit of compassion and I want to teach you because I want you to get it. But you get on my goddamn nerves, I'm still a Gen Xers, and then it's going to be all tough, no love. That's what it's going to be. Because I'll finally get to the point like, okay, this motherfucker's just stupid. Never mind. Never mind. Ah! Gotta go. Sometimes folks see identity, with those things and way too much. Yeah, they take that shit way personal and don't understand how there's a difference between arguing place and arguing against ideas. There is a difference. People who know better know the difference. If your whole thing we're arguing about somebody turns to the personal, you're arguing out of feelings. Because basically what you're saying is meant to attack them emotionally. That's what makes it an emotional argument. That's like saying, I'm gonna get to your point as soon as I finish talking about your dumb ass. That's an emotional shit. That's emotional. You're just trying to wrap it. And I'm gonna get to your point after I call you a name. No, motherfucker, that's emotional. So it's always funny. That's why I always ask them why you put up with that kind of shit so long. I don't have that much patience. Can't do it too long. Can't. Not having arguments about this shit. I'm gonna say what I think it is and leave it at that. I'm not saying I'm gospel, and I'm not saying you have to believe me and know others. But if I know facts on the situation, I tell you what the hell it is. I'm a Scorpio. That's just what the fuck it is. You can take it or you can leave it. But we're not gonna sit here and argue about the shit. That's what I'm not gonna do with you. Fuck it. You think something different. Moving on. Look, I'm not into the jaw jacking. I'm not from that state. I'm not from that state. I was not born in that city. Nope. Sorry, crazy traffic. What up, Tyrone? I see you in a minute. Maybe what's up? And BGS will probably check somebody by Tuesday. By Tuesday. Well, look, it's Friday right now, and Saturday is coming up. That means he has at least 2 streams, or shit can get irritating for him. That's my boy Art Newstall with his Friday touch-ups. Somebody gonna need a touch-up. Somebody always comes in there on Friday needing a motherfucking touch-up. It's gonna happen, right? BGS most likely be there, so he will have to be the one to give them a touch-up. If you never seen Deal of the Century, Gregory Hines, little touch-up, that's what I think of when I think of a touch-up, right? With them flames on their ass, right? Now, tomorrow is Saturday, which means you have Artie More's Coliseum, which most likely he will be there, right? The long stream, a lot of shit happens. Somebody there will need some counseling. Somebody there will want to come out there and challenge one of the older gladiators. And they're going to have to get out there with the ball mace or some shit, with the bronze sword and the shield, and, you know, get it in like Maximus. Just what it's going to be. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. What's up, electrician? Carpenter. He said electrician 480, Carpenter, local 22. San Francisco, local 22. Deuce, deuce. Right? It will happen. So you get it all the time in this space, right? So BGS could have one style, right? Going back to the dojo metaphor, BGS has one style. Argument Man got a whole nother style. He'll try to talk to you. If you're going to make some sense and act like you got some damn respect. But he will turn into the whole 36 chambers on your ass. With the boots on. like, it just is what it is. It's like the volcano. It's like the fire. Fire is good in oven. It heats. It cooks. It keeps the house warm. But too much fuel, fire will get out of control. Look, when he had to go off on somebody, that's all I see it as. Like, shit, motherfuckers wanted that shit. I got my fire shield up. It's good. It's not aimed in my direction. Shit. Look, motherfuckers want the shenanigans? Give them the shenanigans. Want to start talking stupid? Want to walk them baby nuts? Okay. Don't be mad when they end up cracked. Like, I learned that a long time ago on listening to people on the radio, right? I used to listen to talk radio, my talk radio days. You don't argue with the dude with the microphone. You know why? Because you can get hung up on real quick. Same thing with most of these panels. Nobody has to let you up there talking crazy to anybody. Because the host can always just drop your ass out of that shit. Because you don't have a right to be there. You can always be excused out. We just try to be more cordial about the shit. Just do. Just tolerate it. But in some ways, that goes into our programming as black men, that we always supposed to let people talk crazy to us for long periods of time. Fuck all that. Well, you can go. I leave or you leave. If it's my show, you leave it. Just say that's how it's gonna go. Electrician, though. Yeah, you know. So everybody has their different style. All of us, for the most part, are talking pretty much some red pill shit, right? So many chambers in the manosphere. Many chambers. And many different styles. Find one to your fucking liking and rock with them. Yeah, BMT is the trigger style, I'm telling you. You don't drink, so I can't say he the drunken master. But trigger warning. BMT showed up. A guy was trying to tell me and Charles Faulkner about weapons armor where we were teaching a class for free. These people ask for info but deny the lessons. Yeah, me and Charles joke about that shit all the time. This is the only space where motherfuckers constantly argue with experts. Even if they're not certified by the white society as experts in their field, they got more experience doing the shit than you ever have. I would never argue with military people about military armor or weapons, no matter how much I thought I fucking knew. I wouldn't do it. Why? Because they probably know more because they got more access than I do. Damn. I never would. Electrician in here, look, all day. If I told y'all something electrical I was doing, an electrician is listening, he's like, hey man, that's not the way to do that. You're gonna burn them people's house down. Now, I might feel some kind of way because I was called out, because that can happen to guys. That's usually what it is. They don't like the fact that they feel embarrassed that they're being challenged on something and shown in public that they don't know what they think they know, which shouldn't be an issue for you. Everybody don't know something, motherfucker. Nobody knows at all. Shouldn't be an issue. But if an electrician told me that shit, I got two choices. I can get emotional about the shit because I'm being proven wrong, or I can ask him, what do you mean? What is it? Let me know so I can do this shit correctly. Teach me. And I wouldn't have, me personally, I would not have a problem doing that because I always want to learn from the most experienced person in the room. That's why I'm usually quiet and listening to learn, not opening my mouth and sucking up all the goddamn air in the room, talking about what I don't know and what I think it might be. When this person actually has the hands-on knowledge, like, motherfucker, I do this for a living. Anybody that does the thing that you're talking about and theorizing about for a living is the expert in the room because they actually do it for a living. Black folks are the only ones that want to argue with people about that shit. White folks won't argue with you about it. They just think you're stupid anyway, especially if you're black. How'd he learn that? They want to figure out how you learned it. They're mad that you know it. No, black folks the only ones. That's what's so crazy about the shit. Like, you should embrace your experts. Oh shit, you got expertise in this? Awesome. Like Studio in here, he do a whole class, engineering and stuff like that. What would I look like arguing with him about what's the best board to use and stuff like that to teach kids? Like, what? Yeah, I'd look like the dumbest ass in creation. I don't do that shit every day. I don't. I've worked with kids, but me working with kids don't make me be able to work with kids, teaching them studio production and stuff like that. That's not what I do. And you always have people arguing with folks like that off they minuscule fucking information. Like, man, I can tell you how to do your job, Studio, with the mix board and stuff like that. Cause yeah, you might have 100-something tracks on yours, but back in the day, was 15 years ago. I worked it out on this little 4-track player, how to do these beats and stuff like that on there. And that means it should translate up to you doing this, full production studio. Nigga, no it don't. That's two separate fucking things. And your information is dated to begin with. No, that's not how it is. We always look for position because we think that we're losing something. We are losing something by somebody else having more knowledge than you in that situation. You don't lose anything from that. It is the smart man who actually embraces that knowledge and brings it closer to him so he can learn more. It is the fool who wants to push that away. Oh, don't listen to him. Only listen to me. That nigga don't know nothing. I don't like it. I don't like the way he walking. Anyway, as they would say with that bullshit. So, Ray, me being corrected is preferable. Fire down here to burn, preferable to burning down the house. Exactly, Mad Villain. That's me. I just want to do the shit right. I want to do it right, and I want the people who stay in the house to have their shit working correctly. I do not want to be sitting at home, watching the news or something, and then, oh, a house fire and such and such. And I'm like, what? Is that the neighborhood I was just working in yesterday? Oh, hell no. Did I do that? Yeah, it looks like it was an electrical fire. Richard? No, that's not what I want. I want that shit in right. I act like the people that's living there is me. I want the shit correct. Because if the roles were reversed and a dude that's in this house came to my house and working on something, I want him to show me the same fucking courtesy. None of this half-ass shit. Oh, hell no. Nobody. We have a whole problem. A whole goddamn problem. So yeah, I want to correct. And it would behoove me to talk to the people who do it as a profession. Like electrical work, I can do some electrical work, but I know where to stop. I do. I know where to stop. And it is no shame in my game to say, look, I don't know. I don't know. It's by me. Talk to the electrician. By me. That's called intelligence. That's called being, humble enough to understand where your limitations are, because we all got them. I push the ones I can. Electrical work is a whole nother trade. If I spent my 20-something years doing carpentry, did you think I was spending 20 years doing electrical work too? No. I focused on carpentry. I did 20 years of that, not 20 years of electrical work. So it would behoove me to rely on somebody like electrician's expertise, because he does it for a fucking living. And even if he spent 20 years doing electrical work, he spent his 20 years doing that. I spent my 20 years doing this. It's just what it is. Maybe I should start teaching electrical classes in the Black Manosphere. I don't see why not, electrician. Look, if you had a channel and you could have told me the difference between these capacitors and stuff like that for the HVAC, I wouldn't have had to watch the white boy video that I watched. I wouldn't have. Which actually helped me do my job. If there was somebody black out there doing it, yes. That's why I don't think that the Black Manosphere is just locked into we can only talk about fucking bitches. No, nigga, this, like I've said it for a while, this should be a one-stop shop for anything you want to learn, because we got too many men in here that do various different things. Police officers, soldiers, current soldiers, people in some, military, government positions, have ran for office, been in office, run businesses, started businesses, capitalists, fucking traveling to work. God damn. How many more types of men do you need in one place to not for them all to have an open shop where you can come in there and find out what the fuck is going on? And an open shop meaning a channel to get that information from them. Ain't that the whole idea of each one teach one? Electrician is one dude, and here's with it in his name that he's a fucking electrician. Why the hell shouldn't the Black Manosphere have an electrician who puts out how-to videos? Why the fuck not? Why not? Look, I do the goofy shit that I know. Comics, movies, books, carpentry, right? And any other stuff I throw in there, child raising, marriage, relationships. I throw the stuff out there that I know. And that's why I try to keep my channel kind of fluid to where I have different streams that I can get this information out to you. And I title it different things so you can see. If I'm listening to a shop talk, it's a mix of all these. If I'm listening to a geek speak, it's about geek stuff. If I'm listening to a PMDM, it might just be black male thoughts and stuff like that. I try to give you enough different streams to get out my own shit so you can poke in those different areas to get that information. And at least do one to bring it all together where it can all come out as one. The chat is awesome, especially with affirmative action going bye-bye. Support each other. Yeah, Swift Battle. I was just listening to BGS's video on that when I turned this on, when I got ready to leave and clocked out, because I was thinking about my job, how that would affect my job. And when I'm listening to what he's saying, and I'm listening to that report, I'm like, they're just about to start locking you motherfuckers out. That's all it is. So everybody who didn't like black men having PhDs and shit like that, don't worry, you ain't gonna see no more of them. Don't worry, you're not gonna see any more of them because that's what's gonna happen. You have to understand that this whole thing with education and the mass populace being educated was an experiment because like Game of Thrones times, Dark Ages, for a long time up until I think in the 1900s, everybody wasn't educated. Everybody wasn't. Everybody couldn't fucking read. Couldn't. It only became necessary with the industrial age. Now they're trying to roll some of that shit back. Everybody don't need to be educated. Maybe we need some of these motherfuckers to just be the cogs in the wheel, don't understand where one piece goes and what this piece is for. Like the motherfuckers on Andor in that prison, we just need you working on this one thing. And you all wearing the same shit and don't know what this one thing is actually attached to. What it's for, nothing. You just know you have a quantity you need to push out and get them done. The clock is running. How you get out of that kind of rat race bullshit is with education because it's the only equalizer for everybody in the world. You start barring education like that, what do you think is going to happen here? Black man, how far on your climb to success, how far is the ground from where you at on the ladder? Probably not far at all, right? Okay. What's up, pragmatic? So think of it this way. The water is rising. There's a hole in the boat and the water is rising. Where are you on the ladder? And if you want a better visual for this, think of your company or where if you have a job, if you're not an entrepreneur, independent, that's a different kind of ladder. Think of your profession, your job, or where you're at. Whatever position you're in, it doesn't matter. And think of where would somebody who started your job today be in relation to you? Would they be above you or would they be below you? And if they're below you, how far below you are they? Would they come in today and be one step away from the position you're in right now? Then you're really low on the fucking ladder. That's what that is. Which means if the ship is sinking and the water is rising, that motherfucker is drowning first and you're drowning second. That's it. How do you cut that off? Keep people from coming up the ladder behind you. Being able to climb up the ladder behind you. You start limiting education. You start limiting the education. Because if they're not smart enough to get up there, you don't have to worry about them being there. It won't even be a crab in a bucket mentality anymore. It'll just be buckets. You don't have to worry about it because only the selected people will advance that far up. That gets into your Gattaca kind of shit, except without the, genetic makeup and stuff like that. That gets into that whole idea of determining people's potential before they're even fucking born. And that's where you get into, like Charles talks about, this celebration of fucking mediocrity. All this dumb shit you see, you'll just get more of it. And worse, not better. That will be the norm. Somebody like a fucking nameless in here would be a goddamn exception, a fucking unicorn. Like, holy shit. It's an educated black man who can speak a couple languages in military service. Oh, no, and he can fight too? Oh, no, sir. No, nah, we don't need any more. I mean, you niggas, black folks being smart and intelligent. We don't need any more of that because now you'll probably come up here and try to take our position. Resources are getting tight. We got to cut back. Let's shut the gate on you. Pull up the ladder. You're done. That's what that shit is. That's what it is. So, yeah, that affirmative action shit going away. Yeah, that's It's pluses and minuses to that shit. Just for me, off the top of my head. Appreciate you saying that, Ian. If you think it's a great stream, support the the not the super chat, Cash App. Hit the Cash App. Drop something in my cup. I'm out here proselytizing them. But for me, off the cuff, I didn't finish watching the rest of BGS's video to see his point, but I will after I finish this stream. But my thinking is this on affirmative action. There's positives and minuses to it. The minus, one of the major minuses is my initial thought on it is that it will be used to keep black folks out of a lot of positions. You will no longer get that benefit of education because they figured like, oh, we helped y'all out long enough. No more leg up. Fuck you. And basically all it is, since you know from reading The Man Not, listening to Dr. T, listening to Dr. Ron, listening to BGS, most of that affirmative action shit went to white women anyway. That's what a lot of your Rainbow Brigade, Rainbow Regiment uses to get in the positions they're in. And now they're going to get rid of the shit. So you, black man, can never get there. They're going to make sure they keep your ass out, is what it is. And that's going to take care of keeping the rest of you out, you troublesome little Negroes who know things. That's what that's going to be. That's the major minus right now for me, right? What's the positive? Because there's positives and negatives to anything, right? You have to be able to look at both. You don't have to actually take either position, but you need to be able to see both so you understand which one is the better one for you. Positive side, a lot of these women going to be out of there too, which should free up some of these positions for, I don't know, males to get in there, or maybe you can find you a fucking wife with some sense now. Maybe. I'm just saying maybe. If that's something that you're looking for. Because they gonna get out too. Especially these BWs. Look, no matter what movie you watching nowadays that overly gets film, you know one thing that you never see change up in that shit? No matter how many women they throw in there, Latina, Black, Caucasian, or whatever, one hierarchy never changes. Have you noticed what that hierarchy is? White women still sit on top, and black women still below them. Still. And if you want to put a finer point on it, you know that goofy chick out of BLM who ran off with all that money, bought a couple houses and shit like that? What color is her partner? And what does she used to be? A frumpy looking white woman who changed herself, dressed herself up like a white man. That hierarchy is never changing. You always gonna be Miss Ann's Aunt Jemima. Always. She is never getting off of that seat. She don't give a fuck how many of you help push her up there. Don't think you sitting there alongside of her. No. You under her, bitch. Believe that shit. Yeah. Nameless political Mandalorianism. Yes, that's all this is gonna be. This is really about to be one of the only paths left now that everybody is on the same playing field. Yeah, everybody on the same playing field is going to be every person, since you don't want to gender anything, every person for yourself, and women don't get no preferential treatment. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to see how fucking equal your ass is now. Oh, best believe. Best believe. You're going to see how fucking equal you are. Or I should say how equal you're not. Look, it just is what it is. In a crowd of 100 people, I'm sure there's a bunch of people, at least 50 of them, that I can't whoop their ass. At least 50 that I can't whoop their ass. If it's 100 people made up of all men, it's at least 50 of them I can't whoop. And I'm just saying that to be generous, right? At least. Now, in the field of 100 men or 99 men, one woman out there, how many you think she taking? Even if it's fucking Gina Carano, how many you think she taking? Just saying. Just saying. And that's not having no hate against women. I told y'all before, I don't have any hate against women. I just hate the stupid shit that people do. Males, females, fucking dogs, cats, children, it doesn't matter. I hate stupid shit. I hate people doing dumb things. It's so not my stilo, man. What up, 3T? I see you in here. No more soft gore era. Oh, they're gonna be real soft. They're gonna be real soft, like that video of them chicks out there in the Ukraine busting it wide open for soldiers during the wartime. Yeah, that's how soft that shit gonna be. It's gonna be soft from you, because that's the only thing that's gonna keep people off of their murderous ass. They'll still be on the other one. So you can forget that shit. Hot girls, yeah, hot girl summer bought bought you a cold winter, motherfucker, and a freezing fall. You done. You done. That shit is over. And I'm not sad about it. I'm not. I'm not sad about that shit at all. I'm just sitting back and just like old man drinking his coffee. Like, let's see what these motherfuckers look like out here today. Oh yeah. You looking kind of stupid out there in the face now. Funny. Yeah. Sit there like Kermit drinking tea, just watching what happens. Yeah. Look, fuck it. You knew, right? Okay. Smarty pants, you knew. Good. Awesome. It was always about balance. They lied to these masses and told them it was about equality. Exactly, Nameless. That's what I always say. It is always about balance. You guys can't see this clearly, but I can't put the phone closer either. It's always about balance. It's always about balance. You have to have a balance with this stuff. There are things that men are good at. There are things that women are good at. There are places where women will excel. There are places that men will excel. And there are the outliers that can do vice versa. That's a small percentage right in the middle. You want to get the best out of any group. And I say this from being a supervisor and working in teams for fucking, I don't know how many goddamn years now. You maximize what the people in the group are good at and bring up the ones who are not as good and develop them into being your strongest ones. That's how it works. The team as a group has to function, regardless of age, sex, gender, any of that shit, how you like to take it, how you don't like it, what you think about the person across from you. It don't fucking matter. How do you work together to get things done? What is the balance that you need to get things done? Can you achieve it? If you can, you out of there, motherfucker. You watching Andor lately? What happens with the team that can't function together and turn out that shit? Ah! They get it. Very fucking simple concept. What up, cuz? Darth Starworth in here. What up, Dale? Spot on? Yeah, I had my coffee today. And some gummy worms, so I'm feeling it. Feeling it. Leaving me here on my own. It's a cruel, cruel summer. Spain, man, you funny as fuck. Don't be talking about my group. Leaving me here all alone. It's a cruel. I'm an 80s baby, man. Don't make me go play that shit, because I will rock out to some 80s shit. Y'all be looking at me sideways like, this nigga knows this song? Yes. Nigga, I'm an 80s baby. I know a hell of a lot of songs. Males, females, it don't fucking matter. That was the background music to my generation. So fuck you. I know it and I love it. Don't ask me about no REO Speedwagon or Journey and Phil Collins, none of that shit. The Bangles, what, Tiffany, fucking girl. Come on, man. Come on, man. Leave me alone. Where are my manners? The nameless protagonist. Yeah, they was getting the zappity, boy. No, it wasn't even a zappity. It was the cat on a hot tin roof. they was getting the shakalaka, boy. They was getting woo shit. They was getting fucked up. What up, Beastly? That's an amazing song from the Millennials. Millennials take. Yeah, it is an amazing song. It's a fun song. Karate Kid will sell you, but you also got to get into some Peter Sedaris too. You do. Fuck look. I can say this for my ex-wife, man. That was something that we had in common because we both Gen X's. We love that shit. She loved the Karate Kid, and I love the music and like the movie. So we could always get down on some shit like that. Some 80s shit playing in the house. Nobody'd be tripping. We'd be rocking out to that shit. Do, 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 do. But I did an hour right here. As fire as this stream is, it will not be saved on StreamYard because I got to make some space. Like, share, subscribe, support the stream if you feel so inclined. I would like to continue this fire, but I know as soon as I go in the house, I'm gonna get me some juice. I might mix it with a little bit of whiskey so I can relax because my thumb is killing me and my knees are hurting. I'm gonna get on my video game, and I don't think playing my video game and talking like this will work. I can try it, but trust me, there's a killing time stream coming because I got back to Ghost of Tsushima last night, and I really want to go in tonight because last night I was having some epic Kurosawa fights, boy. After I shut that stream up, I was having some awesome fights, and I was mad that it wasn't on the stream. I'm like, oh goddamn, this should have been on the stream. They would have loved this. So I got to see if I can upload it. I saved the clip on the PlayStation. I just have to see if I can upload it straight to YouTube. If so, you'll see some of the battles. Do you like any rock or metal? Ian, are you fucking kidding me? You kidding me, right? Yes. I love rock and metal. Metallica is my favorite. And then for rock, I listen to a bunch of people. I even listen to alt rock. I do. I was thinking of this for doing my Andor review. I was going to put Linkin Park, Nobody's Listening in there because the title of the video, the title of the episode of Andor works with Linkin Park song. But one of my favorite songs, Nobody's Listening. Shout out to I just messed up his goddamn name. I was gonna say Trevor. It's not his name. Fucking see, I hate when I do that shit. I hate when I do that. He want to say Clarence. It's not fucking Clarence. I know his goddamn name. And just two thoughts converged together and made a 15 car pile up in my brain. Chester. Thank you. Fucking hell. Shout out to Chester. RIP to Chester. Because he was going through some problems. And he unfortunately deleted himself. But you listen to them songs and listen to the lyrics, not just the beat, you'll understand what the hell that dude was going through, what pain and what stuff he was trying to battle. That's why I end up liking rock and alt rock especially. It's like if these motherfuckers could rap, they would be rapping. But what they have to say would not play in rap because it's too it wouldn't play in the rap of the time because it's too emotional. It's about mental problem, mental anguish, mental struggle, shit that happened to you while you was growing up. But the same passion is in it that used to be in rap and hip hop. The same passion, the same struggle. It's just different. Yeah, R.I.P. to Chester, man. Yeah. Korn, my group. Korn is another one of my group. Anthrax, there's a couple of songs that I like that they did. Megadeth wasn't into them. Slayer, Metallica mostly from the Bay Area. What the fuck? Slipknot, heard some of their shit that I like. Whatever. Edema, cool with them too. Stain, my shit. Disturbed, my shit. What's the other one? System of a Down, my shit. Right? Look, you can't ask a Gen Xer if they like rock or metal because it's it's a no-brainer question. The reason being is Generation X grew up, and became a thing in our generation. We made that shit popular. And back in the 80s, when MTV started, if you were lucky enough to have fucking cable, they didn't play black stuff. They only played rock and metal. So if you're listening to MTV and watching music videos, which was a new thing, right, for the mass audience to see, it wasn't just something that studio heads got to see, right? No, mass audience get to see these videos. That's all we watched. That's all that was there for us to watch was rock videos. Like, what was his name? Dance Hall Days dude. How do you think I know that song? We're home in place. And I dance all days. Why do I know shit like that? Why do I know Duran Duran? That's what was there. That was the only thing that was there. And it was Run DMC who came along and started putting some black on that shit. Michael Jackson putting some black on that shit. That's why we rock with Michael Jackson. Because now we could see it. Because it wasn't a Michael from when he was a kid, because we wasn't born at that time. But we were born when he was in his goddamn 20s and started living off the wall and talking about Billie Jean and shit. Yeah, we was there for that. Same thing with Prince. Madonna, y'all don't know. I'm a big Madonna fan for her music. She a freak. What? She an old freak now, but it's like, it is what it is, man. I thought that was all white girls. What the fuck? Look, my favorite Madonna songs is Like a Prayer. One of my favorite Madonna songs, Like a Prayer. And I like music. I do like music, right? Yeah, alt rock is fire. Yeah, it's a lot of groups. That's the hard thing to keep up with is so many fucking groups. You'll miss it. Like, here, I prove this to y'all right now. For you young kids in the house, these are CDs. These are CDs, and these are burn CDs. Basically, these are CDs that I made myself, burning the songs on the CD so I can have them with me and play. I've had them for years, right? Now, right off the top, if you can read this, you probably can't. This is my alternative ideas, which was a 3-volume set of just alt rock shit, right? Now, listen to this is just in my car, right? Bunch of CDs, the shit that I burned. Oh, I got all 3 of them here. Awesome, right? Listen to the titles. See if any of y'all know this shit, right? Movies, Alien Ant Farm, Gone Away, Stained. Take This, Stained again, right? Wash Away Those Years. Oh, that's Creed. Yeah, that's Creed. Wash Away the Years by Creed. Control, Puddle of Mud, another one of my favorite groups. Love Puddle of Mud, right? Alone I Break, Korn. Shout out to Jonathan, right? Thinking About Forever, POD. How did I fucking forget POD? Sleeping Awake, right? My Immortal, Evanescence. Love Evanescence. Amy Lee got a killer fucking voice, and I'd bang her ass out too. She's single. I'm just saying, right? Aerials, System of a Down, Simple Kind of Life, No Doubt. Who don't know Gwen Stefani now? I knew Gwen Stefani back in Tragic Kingdom. Okay, same thing with Blink 182, right? No Sex, Limp Bizkit. I like Limp Bizkit, right? Attitude. That was Alien Ant Farm, right? Love Alien Ant Farm too because they funny. They did the Smooth Criminal song, the rock version of Smooth Criminal. That was Alien Ant Farm. That dude is pretty good, right? Please Sustain. All of this is Blink 182. Ghetto, POD. Yes, Latino dudes did make a song called Ghetto. The world, and it said the world is a ghetto. That shit was awesome too. I might listen to that shit tonight. And No One's There, Korn. There's 3 albums, or there's 3 burn CDs, right? That I made myself from rock music I had just to have, what is this, 12 songs on each one? Just rock shit. I got another one with all fucking hip hop stuff. Oh, this one There's a playlist on my there's actually a playlist on my channel for this one. It's called 80s Appreciation. This is my one with all 80s music on it. Always something there to remind me. David Bowie, Hall & Oates, Soft Cell, Lisa and Coke Jam, Men at Work, Toto, the Thompson Twins, the motherfucking Thompson Twins, Corey Hart, what, Pat Benatar, love Pat Benatar, Bananarama, the Bangles, Arnold Palmer, the Jets. Y'all don't know about the Jets? Crush on You. Come on, man. Wayne Chung. Don't fuck with me about no 80s stuff. I'm an 80s baby, man. I'm an 80s baby. Born in the 70s, raised up in the 80s and 90s. I know this shit. So asking a Gen Xer if they like rock is kind of a misnomer. You can find some black folks that do or don't, but for the most part, that's their little secret shit, because it wasn't cool for black folks to like that shit back in the day. You couldn't be walking around the hood, whistling some Tears for Fear shit. Everybody walk. Nah, nigga, you get your ass whooped. Hey, fuck you singing? What's that? Because maybe some kids in the hood didn't have cable. Maybe your parents had good jobs. Just didn't know that shit. Motherfuckers didn't like that shit and make you feel like they got that thing on them that you thought that you were better than them, which was never the case. For some of these motherfuckers, it was. But that's what it was. NXS, yes. NXS, yes. That's how I got into NXS when they came out. That's how I got into listening to U2. Because that was junior high school years for me. And I can tell you, this is a friend of mine, so you can fact check if you think I'm bullshitting, if you're on my Instagram. I have a friend on there named Julie. Julie is my friend from junior high school, Latina. She was into U2 and NXS and all that shit. And we used to listen to that shit. So when we did like Catholic school dances after a point, I started DJing. And we'd play that shit. It's the funniest thing in the world to be at a Catholic school right next to the church, having a little party, and people in there dancing. You doing this U2 music, you doing this NXS, and then Ice-T 6 in the morning come on, and all them little white kids in there. I was like, Jack, my mama's on crack, my sister can't work because of arm show tracks. That shit is the funniest thing ever, dude, at a Catholic school. But that was the generation we were in. That stuff was all there. It was all mixed together. So anyway, and that's why I got love for Beastie Boys too. So let me go ahead and get out here and get in the house because I'm steaming up my windows like I'm fucking in the car. And that's not what it is. My breath and me are just hot. What did Aquateki say? 80s was fire music. Yeah, it was. It was. Because the 80s, think about it this way, Aquateki. The 80s were a time when they were coming out of that 70s music, when it was really just love stuff, and more technology started getting into the music. And that's why you saw people start experimenting more with the music and the technology that was coming in. What is Roger Troutman and Zapp without the 80s and the synthesizers and stuff like that, and the voice boxing, putting the holes in your mouth so it can modulate your voice and shit? Who is he without the 80s technological advancements and putting that stuff in the music? Who is fucking Herbie Hancock without the 80s and the technology going into music? Boop, 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 boop. That's breakdancing music, but you don't think about it at the time, what instruments he's using to do this shit. What is hip hop without the advent of being able to have two turntables out in the park and speakers and a mic and just rocking it out by yourself on the basketball court with your homeboys? Oh, this shit is portable now. Look, I got a whole little music studio right here. I can adjust my levels and stuff, and just as long as I got 20D energizers and drop it down on the block, I can sit there with a microphone and play my music and rap the whole time. That's 80s stuff. Yeah, Donnie Darko is a good movie. Yeah. Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko is a good movie in the 80s. Good 80s soundtrack. Yes, it is. It is. But this will inform most of you. There'll be somebody who don't know who I am will come in here later and challenge me on some bullshit later on. They'll come into my dojo talking shit, right? But for the rest of y'all who see me all the time, this leads you into how much I actually know, how much I have actually experienced, and how not limited and narrow my experience is with music, with life, with anything. It's not very narrow. And I ain't way out here like I've experienced everything, I've done it all and seen it all. No. But my field of vision on this shit is pretty fucking wide. And I can go into a lot of different categories at any point in time. It's just what it is. That's what, at least for me, I bring to the space, my experiences. And then what I keep learning on top of that, because I don't just rely on old knowledge, I take in new information too. So that's why when I talk about comics, I ain't talking about all the shit that happened in the 80s from the last time I read it. No, I might tell you about the last 5 years. I might tell you about right now if I read it. And it goes into the data bank with all the other stuff I've read from the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. It ain't pulled out my ass. It's pulled out my brain. The difference. I'm a Spain man. Somebody spent elementary school years skateboarding with white kids. Look, Spain man, my homeboy who got me into drawing comic books and introduced me to stand-up comics, my boy Thompson Hamilton from junior high school. He was a white boy I skated with because I skateboarded. I was the only black dude in Richmond skateboarding. And if I hadn't discovered Cooch and that little Japanese chick that gave me some, I wasn't trying to sneak over there that night to get a piece, I'd still have that skateboard. I would. I'd still have that skateboard. But yeah, I was the only black kid skateboarding in Richmond. Imagine my surprise when, 20 or so years later, they actually built a skate park at my favorite park hangout by my junior high school. I was like, oh, nigga, now you do it? Where was it when it was popping? Like, God damn. You wait till these little fucking kids don't even want to skateboard. Oh, asshole. But my homeboy Thompson, he skateboarded. He dressed like a skater. Pegged his pants and everything, even in Catholic school. I skateboarded. That's why I still have love for skateboarding and doing BMX tricks. I grew up in the BMX and skateboard area. I rode my BMX and I rode my skateboard and my roller skates and blades and all the rest of that shit. I was an active, athletic kid. I did shit and played any sport you can put me in front of because I like being out there doing shit. I don't like spectating. I like being active, not a spectator. I'm a player in both senses, on the field and too short. Too short's definition. That's why I love Pharrell when he first came out. Yeah, NERD. Yeah, nerd. Yeah, because he was doing shit that was considered nerdy. Black dude into this tech, and he rode a skateboard and stuff. You see how motherfuckers acting with that shit. What was they saying about Lil Wayne when he started learning how to play the guitar and riding a skateboard? Oh, that nigga changed up. He done switched. His vision got broader. Dumb motherfucker. That's what you should want to do for yourself when you get out of the world. When you get out the box of your city and get out into the world, your vision actually expands a little bit. You see that you can look side to side and experience some different things. Shit, Nameless ass in here back in the 80s, he would have been a fucking nerd. Just the way he is now in the 80s, he would have been the weirdest fucking kid walking. Nigga speaking, what the fucking language is that? He's speaking Chinese or something. Japanese. And he'd use that accent and tell him some shit. Motherfucker be looking at him like, what? No. Yeah. Yeah, Nerds was the first group you really rep. Look, everybody got their get on points. Everybody got their get on points. It's not the same for everybody. That's why I like the idea of understanding that there's levels to this stuff and not the whole thing with hierarchy. Maybe you didn't get in till the 90s. Well, it don't mean you got to shit on the people that got in at the 80s. It just means you got in at the 90s, nigga. Take the experience they got from being 10 years in this shit, and you can hang out with them too. Because y'all both still like the same thing. You both still like the same shit. You just understand it a little differently. And that's all good, as long as you can have a conversation about it. You can learn from each other. They can bring you up on the 10 years that you missed, and you can help them relate to the 10 years that's happening right now. Because chances are they won't a little bit. They won't. Like I told Black Bane today, and I got to say this and I got to get out this car. But like I told Black Bane today, he was talking about new music that he can't fucking listen to. I told him, well, you've officially hit old nigga status now because you only like the music from your era. All the rest of the stuff you don't really get unless you have fucking kids, because kids pipe you into this era. And that's how you start understanding how to relate to it for you, how you relate to it, and how they relate to it. Not just one conversation, it's a whole thing. Then you start seeing these tectonic shifts that happen in every generation. That's why BGS at 60 sits in such a position, because he got, excuse me, Gen Xers and millennials in his family, and then he's raising alphas and Zs. He sees what the hell they're seeing because he's involved with them on a daily basis. So he can tell you about what his grandson is learning as an alpha, what they're trying to push to these kids. He ain't talking out his ass. He can see it. He at the school. He talking to the teachers. He's seeing the work they're giving him. That becomes expertise. Not a feeling, not a thing, not a theory. That's a fact at that point. Looking forward to Lil Wayne's rock album. Shit, how do you know he didn't already make it? Tell you, Lil Wayne slept on. Lyrically, he is slept on. I don't think most people understand how he is rapping and what he is putting in a song, especially with the beats that he picks. That's why I keep listening to She Will. I listen to that beat by itself. That's an awesome fucking beat. That motherfucker got so many layered metaphors and shit. I don't think people get it. He on some Rakim level of how he's rhyming shit, 2 bars ago, right now, and 2 bars ago. He on that shit. But alrighty, y'all, I'm getting out of here. Peace to you, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.